Alright guys.
Oh, we're live.
You're live.
You want us to go?
Yeah.
You want me to talk?
Is this fucking intro?
I fucking hate it. Hi guys.
No,
Oh, that's so gay. Sorry. Okay, let's go again. Hello. Hello. I'm looking at the right camera now. Okay, welcome back to another, well, actually our first episode, because we just did an intro last time for you guys. So welcome back to our first ever episode of InSense.
I mean, we're gonna find a better way to introduce ourselves soon, but just bear with us for now.
Bear with us.
I think yeah, the last time we hope you got to learn a little bit about us. Like, it was just minimal. We're just trying to like pace you guys, pace ourselves, whatever. So we just want to like just have a little topic each session that we can kind of like explore, and you guys can kind of get to know us a little bit more. And I think we said this last time, the more we go, the more juicier we get.
Oh,
and I feel like there's no limits with us. It's probably
no
like
limits.
the worst duo you can think of, because there's just no filter whatsoever. So I feel like you're in the good place. You're in good hands. If you were here for some juicy shit, for some life-changing shit, for some deep shit, you're in the right place.
Amen, CJ. Amen to that. And so on that note, today we are actually going to go into the topic of a lifestyle, right? Because I just think it's really, really important to understand your lifestyle, or the actual lifestyle that you want to create for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And it took me, and I know yourself, a while to get to, you know,
A place that you're like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but happy with, because let's be real, the minute we talk about lifestyle, people think about like aesthetics, things looking good, Instagram on fleek, going to nice places, spending this, but I feel like you've got to be cool with yourself at the end of the night. When you put your head down to sleep at the end of your day, if you're thinking, but I shouldn't have stunted, I shouldn't have flaunted my shit when I know I'm not in a good place,
100.
that's on you. You have to be comfortable with where you're at day to day, and I think trying to do the most in this day and age, I get it, but you have to do what makes sense for you. Otherwise, you're just killing your bank, killing yourself, and killing like what you really want in your life. You're just doing it for the sake of it.
1,000,000,000%. I feel like if your core values doesn't match like your real lifestyle, as in what's really going on behind cameras, because let's face it, like there's a lot of social media stunting, as you say, and if that's not, if you're switching off your camera and you're doing a cute post and you're posting all this fancy stuff, but behind closed doors you're just sad and,
I was always someone that was like, I could never be on a date doing up selfies, this if my date was dry. Because you see it happen so much where people are out like and you've got all the like cute shit in the background, and these times they just sat like waiting for the next cocktail because shit is awkward.
and they got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, so like do things that make you feel comfortable, and I think like you can be someone that's multifaceted. Like for me, like I'm someone that like I love being bougie, like I love it. Take me to a nice place, let's have a good time, but equally like I'm so cool with like being here and we chill and we like zen out and play some good music, and there's not a penny spent in the night. Like, so I think understanding your lifestyle and your needs are what you actually like, who you want to be. Like ultimately you have to be comfortable with that. I think me and you are like extremes as well. Like we genuinely, like I know we was talking just before we started, but we genuinely are comfortable doing nothing, and then we equally like going out and like causing trouble. So I think again, like you've just got to be true to yourself. If you know that you're the sort of person that's like outgoing and fun, like why hide that? A lot of you guys will hide that in relationships or your family house, and then feel like you're out here doing like the most because you're trying to let this person come out any second that it gets. Like, just be comfortable letting that person shine, like whoever that version is of you. And let's face it, like at every hour of the day, I probably have a different version of myself.
There's always a different version of yourself, and you know what, the key to getting there is finding the balance. You have to find the balance in your lifestyle where, you know, you can be crazy and wild and bougie and, you know, want the finer things in life, but you also understand the importance of the simple things in life. It's understanding that and knowing the key to that. And it takes a lot of soul. It takes a lot of soul searching, awakenings,
I think one thing for me that was something that came up in my journey, and I think something that me and you have such a good balance of, is like, I had a really difficult understanding of money and what it meant to me, and I feel like at my early years I felt guilty for kind of like wanting to have money, because my core values was just like, I just want to love, I just want to, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't earn too much money, or maybe, and I'm like, no, hold up, I want abundance. I want to be able to absolutely do what I love doing, travel the world doing it, do it with absolute joy, because I don't have to struggle. There's so much, like, let's be real, shit when it comes to money, what people earn. Like, there's this whole taboo of like, oh, we can't speak about money, people can't speak about what they want, and they can't want too much because you're this kind of person if you want too much. Like, no, be okay with wanting more for yourself. And I think, like, again, it's a balance though, because if you don't have like a cap on your enoughness and what that means to you, that means you'll buy a Ferrari and never be happy. So you have to have a balance. Like, you have to like be okay with striving for more and like wanting more for yourself, but then being like, I'm good today. Like, I don't need to go and.
I think people forget as well. I was having this discussion earlier actually with when Amber was here, and I was saying, we were talking about money, and I said, money is what we seem to forget is also an exchange of energy, right? And it's an exchange because, you know, we've been conditioned, you know, since you grow up, money is like this paper thing, and it's like, well, where does money really come from, and what are we using money for? We're using money to buy and sell, so it's like exchanging things, right? And to me, it's an exchange of energy.
And all the time, it's a service as well. Like, if you're paying for a service, why should there be a hardship behind it when it's half the time? If I go and pay for a massage, I'm giving you that good money because I want that good massage.
I want that service like that.
So it is an exchange, and I think as long as you're okay with your exchange, like, I know full well, whether it's a private with me, a session with us, a retreat that we do, or whatever it is that we do on the side or in our full-time, like whatever it is, I'm like, yeah, I deserve that. And I think people feel uncomfortable saying their rates, saying who they are as a like, because it's like, oh, I don't want to charge you, and I don't, and I'm like, do you believe in what you're telling them?
This is one thing, and you know, I always say this, you have to actually understand that when you are putting a rate for what you do, whatever that is that you do, whether it's freelance or if you're going for a job interview and you want to ask for a salary, ask yourself the question of what your worth is and what you're actually bringing to the table, the energy, the time, the research, your experience. That is all.
And I think, you know, 100%. And that is so important. But if you are 17, or if you are new, I know, but there are people that sometimes that have to understand that it takes time. And it's not even about 17. You could be 35 and start a brand new career. You have to start that brand new career, and you have to be okay with taking the time to learn, to graft, to make connections again. And I think, like we said, we're paying for a service, so you're paying for that person's knowledge and experience. It's like that meme that says, if you pay for that thing, if I do something and I do it in 10 minutes, no, it's because I've trained for 10 years to get it in 10 minutes. Like, don't think, oh my god, she's just done that really quick. It's like, well, hold up, I've spent years and years and years working on my craft. And there are times like exchanges, me and you talk about exchanges all the time, like, oh, actually, I'm happy to work with that person because it will give me X, or it will give me this and that. But don't be doing up experience and, what's that stupid word, exposure. We're past the stage of exposure, kids. Don't do shit for exposure.
No, honestly, if you're doing it for exposure, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You wanna exchange energy, money, whatever you want to call it, in for something that's going to be good for your purpose, and vice versa. And like, you know, I just, it's help me. Help me.
No,
my words now.
You have to just understand your worth. I think when we strip it back, you have to understand your worth, know how much time or effort or things you put into something, and like, be strategic with it. Like, understand your budgets, like, understand what you put into something versus what you need to get out. Like, you have to be strategic with these things. But like, we're going down a different path for a second. But okay, so if like we stripped it back to like lifestyle then, and like day to day, like, what would you say are like 3 things in your day that like are non-negotiable, that you always do, that you feel you have to have as part of your day?
Oh, me, for like every single day, for me, non-negotiable. As soon as I wake up, I pray. pray and meditate. That's one of the first things that I firstly do.
Yeah.
And I have to have, whether that's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, I have to go outside. Right, I have to be outside, whether I go out on my balcony or if I'm going for a walk or a walk in the park, because as you know, like I live quite close to the park and I love nature. And I love journaling. Those are my 3 things that are non-negotiable for me in the mornings.
That's really good.
That's my ritual.
That's a really good morning. like I think if anyone watching can get into that pattern, and I know for me, like I dip in and out, like it's essential. You know, and I feel like if you're probably watching, you probably do know that like you're a much better person when you dedicate your mornings to yourself. And I feel like I slip off sometimes, and I will fight the end of it, going I'm just busy, and it's fine to just be busy, but if that busy adds up, you're gonna get to a point, like we've been saying recently, we're just feeling tired and a bit on edge. I don't want to get to the ticking point. Don't get me wrong, I'm in a much better place than before. Before I would have been like, it's too much. But now I'm going, I recognise, like I say, I'm going to take a day off tomorrow. Like
100%. And don't get me, when I say that, I'm not, like, there are things that I am, I've been very vocal about it. That's my non-negotiables, but there are other things that I've 100% slipped off on, like exercising and whatnot. But then for me, the way my brain works is I've replaced my exercise, let's say gym or like a hardcore, session or whatever, is me that 5 minutes of going out or going in my house. I don't know. I mean, that's how I kind of justify it to myself. But for sure,
everyone has those little things that like you slip out and it like in and out with. Like I'm probably tiny bit the opposite, where like my sessions are like gym.
You don't ever slip out on that.
Yeah, and I don't think I've missed a session now for 4 or 5 months, but again, like meditating, we've done a whole run of 100 and something days, and then as soon as I miss a few days, it's really hard to get back on again, and I just have to remind myself. I do it most nights, but it's the mornings that make a difference to me, and I think again, you just have to figure out what it is that helps your day. Some people I know of an evening need to like wind down and think about their day, think about so they can sleep peacefully and wake up with a better mood. I'm a morning person.
I definitely think, for sure, meditating at night helps a lot, because I always say, what you think about, the last thing you think about or watch is what marinates your thoughts within those 7 or 8 hours that you sleep. So when you wake up and you're feeling agitated, it could to do with the night before.
100%.
However, in the meditation in the morning, and my thought process and my ritual, as I always say, is like brushing your teeth, cleansing your mind. And once you've done that, like your day is just like, I'm just zen and smooth, and I don't get as agitated.
Your way. Yeah. You can be stuck in traffic, but because you've had that 5 minutes to yourself, it's like versus someone who's like gets up, checks your phone, runs up.
It's not even, when I say I think when I tell people I meditate, they think I sit there for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I do. Some days I do. But literally most days I would say 5 minutes.
Yeah. Just to have that breathing
space. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
As soon as I wake, it's just become a natural thing, and it doesn't matter who's here. That's me. Anyway, tell me about your rituals. What is your?
I wouldn't say I've got a solid ritual at the moment. I would just say
non-negotiables.
Okay, so something for me, something that I kind of learned is that we have like 6 psychological needs. Remembering them off the top of my head: love, significance, uncertainty, certainty.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And then. I'll think about the next 2 and I'll drop them soon for you. Yeah. But for me, it's not, what is it? Oh, contribution.
Right.
And there's another one. But for me, the whole point of saying this is contribution. Right. So I feel like I have to do something per day that contributes to giving. I don't know what that is. And I don't know how I manage to do it, but every day I feel fulfilled in that way. Like there's an element of significance in there, and contributing and love that I think, and again I forgot the like kind of reasons behind these psychological needs, but I think you have to have like a certain element of all of them to kind of stimulate whatever that is for you. But my thing is significance. I feel like a better person, or I feel significant when I've given back, or I feel like my purpose is fulfilled when I've contributed.
Right.
So that, whether that's like, I know it sounds so silly, but like today, I haven't been on Instagram much, but it was just like popping up and just having a little thought, and straight away people come back and they're like, thank you, that really helped me, and I've like rut at the moment, and that really just helped.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel good, and it feels accomplished. I think a lot of me is work and goal driven, so sometimes it can be I can be hard on myself, but if I do it via contributing, it doesn't feel
like
I'm not like having to do an email.
You feel like you just feel like you've served your purpose for the day.
Right. For the day. So that's one. Serve my purpose for the day. Two, I think it is something physical. Now, I don't think that is every day, because I'd be honest, if I got the day off like tomorrow, I think the first thing that I'd think is, oh God, I don't want to dance, I don't want to move. But 9 times out of 10, I'm either always at the gym or I'm dancing. So that makes, and I feel good like after a session.
Do you feel like that's part of you growing up in your kind of like in your household? Everyone's quite like your mum and dad. They're quite active.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's part of why you were like that?
For sure. There's definitely pros and cons to it. I think my parents were always into fitness, always into healthy eating and stuff. And then I do think there was a damaging point, and like I'm bringing this up because I spoke to my family about it. But where like it was so. Like weight was talked about a lot in my family, and like it wasn't intentionally rude or bad, but it was always like, oh, shut up, you fat kid, or shut. And it was just like so bad coming from a Cockney family, but like, oh, shut up, you fat cow, like just silly. Just
it's not.
Or you put a bit of, all right, chaps, put on a bit of weight, and it's like it's so like said in jest or said like, and I'm not saying that my family go around slating people, they really don't, but it was a conversation that I had to say, guys, like, I appreciate being fit and physical and whatever else, but I can't spend my life worrying about what I look like and what your opinions are of my weight. Like
I think that's quite also brave of you and courageous for actually saying that to your family, because I think most of us and most families unconsciously, like I know all my, growing up, my mum would be like, yeah, you're putting on weight, and I don't think they mean it in a.
Come on, look at our older generation as well. Like it's so big for. People to just be like, oh, come on, eat, especially like if you're from a cultured background. I was like, it's just food. You come in my house, food. You're hungry. You're
eat. They want you to eat, but then they say lose weight. Like make up
which one, babe? You want me to be or this?
What do you want? You want to eat or you want to be skinny? Like it doesn't work both ways.
Yeah. So I think that for me was like a big thing, but as soon as I said it to my dad, and I remember like kind of voicing it and just saying like I don't feel comfortable with the discussion about weight in this house. Like I clearly work out, if I have metabolism issues or if I struggle with my diet at times, that's something that we can all help each other with. But again, having that conversation, it's never been brought up to this day, and if it is, it's certainly said with love. Like so yeah, but anyways, I do love being physical, and it's great because my family still work out. I think it's a very important as me now, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a different, also to me, I think to other people, that's a different form of meditation as well. Exercising, like it's a form of being present with yourself, your body, celebrating your body, and making sure that you're being the best version of yourself. So
the last few days where I felt a bit irritable, I've definitely recognised myself leaving the gym feeling like a completely different person. And that is how I know, like, it's not steam where you're like, come on, like,
sometimes that push, that mental conversation that you have, come on, it's just
and that breakthrough physically of your body, because sometimes you don't recognise the mental blocks unless you're aware of them. Like, I'm so aware. If someone challenges me and I respond in a good way, I literally give myself like, yes, CJ, you've done a really good job. Because some people don't know when they're making conscious decisions. But your body is like, if you do a set that you feel that you can't get through and you do it, it's an accomplishment. So yeah, 100%. That, and then
and what and how would you say? How would you also? That's your 3. Sorry.
No, but that was enough.
Can't give me one more. No.
Mine would be similar to yours in like I have to have some kind of stillness. I don't know what it is, whether it's before bed. Like I would love to say it's meditation, but I know that I do slip. But it is some kind of stillness. I love driving for that reason. Like just to have my own time, my own headspace. I love thinking. Like I used to be a deep thinker and I thought it was bad, but now I think it's great to like have clarity over your thoughts.
Acknowledging your thoughts as well, that's very important, and acknowledging why you're having those thoughts. So that's fantastic. Now, obviously, like, maintaining a lifestyle can also be challenging, and as you say, we slip in and out. What advice would you give someone that's trying to like achieve the perfect, like, you know, like the perfect lifestyle that sometimes, like you say, we see on other people are doing. What would you, or how do you think continuing? How would you better your lifestyle? What
Okay.
if you had to give yourself that advice?
Yeah, I think certainly like being or understanding what it is, that lifestyle, what that version of what you want is. So for me, there's a very clear understanding of purpose, fun, family, love, or what, you know, there's a few brackets that I'm like, I want to feel like that's my kind of lifestyle. 2 years ago, it was different. It was career, no days off. No, but that was very unhealthy. I didn't see my family, my friends. I didn't have a social life. I literally would work 3 months without a day off. I'm saying 3 months. It was probably 6. Like, and it's great. I've been able to like buy a house, all those kind of things. Like I've been able to set up businesses and stuff. So I'm very grateful. But it was unattainable. I couldn't live like that. So now it's like, my version of lifestyle is balance. Yeah. Work hard, have fun.
Like 100%. I do for me, personally, I think I've been exactly where you are, you know, where in my previous job where I was employed, I was, you know, traveling so much, and so many people thought like, oh my God, what a glamorous lifestyle you've got. You get to go to all these countries and do this amazing things.
You're not sleeping, eating.
I missed most of the significant birthdays of my friends, like sometimes weddings, christenings, whatever. But I do feel like we all need to go through that.
Oh, thank you. There's so many people that want to skip that phase. I'm like,
you have to go through in order to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. Because I feel like that's where we're at.
Unless you are genuinely happy with the lifestyle that doesn't entail this way of being.
Not even an entrepreneur. In order to be successful in whatever you do, whether that's in your career, whether you're employed with someone, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, have your own business. You know, I've always strived for creating something for myself, creating an empire for myself, whether that's a small empire or a massive empire, it doesn't matter. And I think me and you are the same, hence why we work so well together. We have the same vision and goals, but we also can balance each other as well. But anyway, I'm going off subject. No. But yeah, I just think that you have to go through that kind of grafting period where you have to sacrifice.
I was just going to say, and sacrifice for life. Until you know what it feels like to miss out, you won't understand what it feels like when you've got it and you can be. Do you know how thankful I am to go out for a meal with my family? Before I would be like, God,
110%.
Now, so I went out Sunday night for the first time in months with my a whole family, and I was just like, this is lovely. I really miss my family time, or like dating, having a boyfriend. Like I used to be like, I haven't got time for that. I'll just have a quick 1, 2. You home? Yeah, cool. Back. And now I appreciate like laying in bed with a partner, because I can appreciate that there's not that kind of I have to get up, I have to do things, I have to do, like that lifestyle is so unrealistic for a period of time. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. Go through it, absolutely. Like if you're in that element now and you're like, I feel burnt out, like learn from it, be like, what can I do to help this? Like I definitely realized that that 20-minute, half an hour in the morning is essential. If you are that person like me that's just like go, you do need a minute to kind of survive and get 100%. Through. But yeah, you have to go through it, and then you'll see the benefits will come out, fruits of your labor, it will all be there.
Honestly, like, it does. Genuinely, I think both of us, I could speak for me and CJ both, but the advice is, you know, to be successful, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice, you have to compromise, and you have to be willing to work hard so you can learn later on in your life that you can work smarter rather than harder. Yeah. But you can't get to that stage if you skip.
Yeah, so I heard this thing the other day about this whole like, oh yeah, work hard. I mean, don't work hard, work smart. And like, yeah, we want to get there. You have to work hard.
But you won't get smart until you work hard. Yeah. So understand that. You will not understand and know the shortcuts of how to get smart if you haven't grafted and found that foundation first. Okay, so found your foundation. Always ground yourself. Very, very important. And it's something that I always say. You know, I hug trees. People think I'm nuts. But the reason I do that is grounding in whatever you do in your life is super, super important. So humble yourself, ground yourself, no matter how hardworking, successful, or if you're working towards that.
And have people around you that make you feel like that. I think that's another thing for me. Like
100%.
I think for so many years I had kind of like, I don't know how to put it, like
Toxic people.
not even toxic people in
Energy
relationships
vampires.
and energy vampire, energy suckers.
Energy vampire.
And for me, when you're in that element of go, 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 the last thing you need is someone then draining the last 10% of you that you've got left. And if you feel like that, and if you feel like you've got people in your life that are doing that, and you can't quite pinpoint, sit down and write out those people, and you'll soon realise who's taking up too much of your energy.
Boom. I wish someone told me this. I wish I knew this.
Yeah.
Like 5, 10, whatever you
Because honestly, if you are running on 100 and then you've got, I don't know, 80% of yourself is going to work because you are that person that's driven, you want to get shit done or whatever, and you've got 20% left to give, and you've got that one donut in your circle that is, babe, like, oh, can I just have this from you and can I do this? And I'm like,
can you, or that person that always constantly wants you to listen to their problems, but when you want to speak about, you can't vocalize yours because there's no, they don't even give you a chance to breathe.
Yeah, there's that thing that I kind of was like, oh, that's a really nice way to look at it. It's like, if we're both having a moment, like, let's just say there was something wrong, it's like going, Sash, do you mind, like, have you got a minute? Like, so we can speak.
We always do that.
But that's what I mean, as opposed to just like, blaring at you, and then, or like, sometimes we'll both have a voice note where it's like, meh, but we'll say in it, don't listen to this now until you have a minute.
Yeah, we always say
because it's conscious of energy sucking, but you only realise that when you are someone that's had people take from you, that you don't want to be that person to anyone else. And again, everyone does it. We all have emotional needs, and we all need people at times, but just be responsible for yourself.
And also be respectful of other people's times and other people's energies. Be respectful towards. I'm always like CJ say, I'm respectful, towards my friends, and my friends are now respectful towards me. And I think
that's the beauty of those friendships, and that's what we're saying. Like, have those people around so that you can go. I know I can come to Sasha's and like. Literally, how many times that she said to me, come and I'll give you a session and we'll... And in my head I'm like, yeah, but you've had a hard day and I don't... But equally, I know if I genuinely needed it, she would drop it and do anything for me in that moment. And but equally, I could come here and we can order a Chinese like the other day and chill. So it's just having people around you that balance you out, make you feel good, and just, bring you back to that you without work, without stress, without family issues. It's just you at your core.
For sure.
But I feel like we covered a lot with lifestyle.
Covered a lot with lifestyle for sure.
I thought, hopefully you've taken some golden nuggets from this session. Yeah. But I do think there was enough there. And again, we can go. So the more and more we keep exploring, the more we're just going to keep sharing and opening up with different things. And I think we are from, not to talk about your age or my age, but we're from kind of two different.
I'm
what do you call it?
About my
two different generations. Not so much generations.
No, two different
age categories.
Yeah, age categories.
Yeah, and so I feel like we're both understanding the time that we're in now, but also times before, and I don't know, whoever's watching this, hopefully you can take something from both of us and what we've kind of been through.
Yeah.
Welcome to InSense. You're gonna learn loads of shit. Bye.
From two different people.
See ya.
Later.
Yeah.